Well, many Texans like to, as the saying goes, remember the Alamo. Its visitor center says more than 1.6 million people visit the iconic state landmark every year. Well, tonight, our media partners at Texas Monthly wanted to find out if a decades-old mystery at the Alamo has finally been solved. Joining us tonight is Heather Martin, who was able to look into this case. Welcome, Heather.
Thanks so much for having me.
Some have claimed there is a link between the Alamo and the San Antonio Zoo. Just to map this out for our viewers, the San Antonio Zoo is, a little more than 3 miles north of the Alamo?
That's right.
Why are some linking the two areas as some kind of point of historical significance?
It sounds a little bit unlikely, doesn't it? It's two disconnected landmarks, but people from San Antonio will know that quarries are intrinsic to the city. San Antonio is built on a very large geological formation called the Austin Chalk, and that is the kind of stone that the Alamo was built out of. It was mined from the area in the 1700s. But there was also a really large cement company starting in the 1800s, Alamo Cement, that mined from the area extensively for a long time. And those quarry pits were then turned into several of San Antonio's landmarks, including the San Antonio Zoo.
The Alamo has been described as a sick patient with needed repairs, right? I mean, why is the stone found under the San Antonio Zoo so important, and why couldn't similar stones be used to make repairs?
Right. When I talked to Pam Rosser, who's the head conservator at the Alamo, she explained to me that because some of the stones are degrading, they may need to be replaced. But as you said, you can't just use any stone. You need to use stone that is extremely similar in geological terms. It needs to have similar expansive properties with temperature change or moisture holding properties. If you put a very different stone in place, it may actually damage the original stones if it's not similar enough. And this is a $550 million restoration project. It needs to be done right.
So there are some questions about how it was discovered that the stone from the zoo was a match to the Alamo. Can you talk about that controversy?
Right. I was hooked on this story as soon as I heard about it. The idea that they could find the original quarry after 300 years of mining and construction was amazing to me. So when I contacted the company that the Alamo Trust said in their press release about finding the original quarry, the company that they said did that testing was Highbridge Materials Consulting. When I contacted them, unfortunately, they replied that the reporting had been erroneous in their words, and that they asked that Texas Monthly not publish that they were connected to the quote-unquote hypothesis that the original quarry had been found at the San Antonio Zoo. So when I went back and forth with the Alamo Trust to figure out where the mix-up was, eventually they did provide me with the original report from Highbridge, which explains that the stone is appropriate for architectural restoration, but it does not address whether or not it's the original quarry, and actually the entire 77-page report does not use the word quarry. So when I talked to other geologists about how you would establish this kind of finding, they explained to me that it would be really difficult with the formation the size of Austin Chalk, which runs from Mexico to Louisiana across Texas, that you would need other evidence like fossil analysis or archaeological evidence. If the Alamo Trust has that evidence, they didn't provide it to me after repeated requests.
I'm curious, you did so much research. What stood out to you?
Standing at the tower of the zoo's new gorilla habitat, you can see the entire skyline of San Antonio. And as a former San Antonian, that moment was really weighty to me. I realized I could see the whole history, the whole post-colonial history in that one view. And I really encourage people to try to take that long view. But I also thought about how the Alamo is at the center of that skyline. And the story of the Alamo from all its sides is the heart of what it is to be Texan. But the Alamo is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. And that's why it's so important to get the science right and to communicate it accurately. And after working on this article and asking a lot of questions, I'm concerned that what's been widely reported isn't the whole story.
Well, Heather, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Our viewers can read your entire article right now on TexasMonthly.com. CBS News Texas. We'll be right back.